Well, hi, and thanks for stopping by the Pellets and Pistons Airgun channel. We've got a gorgeous day here. It's the end of the summer, September, first week of September here in New England. Absolutely gorgeous. The trees haven't started changing yet. They'll be doing that soon. You can feel that little nip in the air as the mornings are colder and the day warms up as it goes. But right now it's about 75 degrees or so. The wind is intermittent, but when it blows pretty hard. So, and that's going to interfere with what we plan on doing today, and that's shooting this absolutely gorgeous rifle. And what is this absolutely gorgeous rifle? This is a BSA Airsporter Stutzen Mk1. Now the Stutzen refers to the full-length stock, like a Mannlicher stock with this beautiful schnabel tip. Rosewood, I believe, is what that is. The rest of it is a piece of beech, but it's very pretty. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really love the BSA guns from the era when they had this beautiful rounded trigger guard and a swept back receiver. However, that does make it a pain in the butt to take it apart, as well as that scope rail right there. But there's other videos on taking apart the RB2, so you'll understand how that's done if you need to ever do it. But that scope rail can be a real bugger. This thing's got a little bit of buzz to it, so someday I may pull the spring out of here just to grease it up a little bit. I don't really want to do anything else to it because it's such a beautiful gun, and I just don't think I need to get into it. It is shooting just fine. It's not a super powerful rifle, but it's turning out to be fairly accurate, even though it's a tap loading gun. Now, a tap loader has, I've shown in other videos before, but it's just a lever on the side that opens up a little port right on top of the receiver where you drop your pellet in, and then you turn that lever back when that lines the pellet up with the bore. And that pellet has to make a leap, basically, from the tap to the rifling. And I think that, and a lot of people in theory believe that that does reduce your accuracy to some degree. And we'll find that out today. We'll see how it shoots. But really cool gun. Really cool scope on here too so far. We'll talk about that when we get into the video a little bit later. I'll eat up some time for you, and we'll tell you some funny things about this scope. But at any rate, this ought to be an interesting shoot. We're going to shoot at 25 yards, and we're going to see how this guy performs. So stick around. This ought to be fun. And thanks again for stopping by the Pellets and Pistons Airgun channel. Okay, so we're at the bench with the BSA Airsporter Stutzen Mk1. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rifle. I really love the look of these guns. Ever since I was a very young man, I've been lusting after these rifles, and I finally got an opportunity to buy one, but not two, from my friend Mark Myers. And the other rifle is a BSA Stutzen model RB2, which has a rotary breech. This rifle has a tap loader. If you're interested in how those systems work, you can search back. You'll see, I think it was A Tale of Two Stutzens was the name of the video on my channel. Check it out. You'll see both guns featured in that video. This is an interesting scope. This is a CV Life 4.5 to 14 by 42 millimeter with an adjustable objective. It's got an illuminated reticle. It's got push-pull turrets where you have to pull them out in order to turn them and then push them back in to lock them in place. But something very interesting that really cracks me up about this is I bought, I think it was 3 of these because the price was right. They were under $50, and they had all the features I wanted, but they are not Springer rated. At least they're not advertised to be Springer rated. So I threw it on here because this is a relatively low powered rifle, and I was hoping that it would hold up to the recoil. So far it's doing just fine. I must have fired 50-60 shots this morning getting this thing right where I wanted it to be on paper before I started the camera, and so far the scope's holding up. But what's really funny about this is that the turrets are marked in reverse. In other words, if it tells you you turn it in a counterclockwise direction, counterclockwise I mean, to go left, but that is incorrect. You turn it clockwise to go left, which is typical for most scopes. And the elevation turret tells you to go counterclockwise to go down, which is not the case. You go counterclockwise to go up. So the turrets are actually marked backwards, which is really funny because it would take somebody who is you know, probably a little less familiar with guns and scopes and things, a little while to realize what was happening. I didn't realize, it didn't take me long, it took me about 3 shots to realize, hey, as I adjust this, it's getting further and further away from where I want it to be. But I think that's pretty funny. It's a cheap Chinese scope. We'll see how long it holds up. And if it holds up for a long time, I might buy a few more and stick them on some of my lower powered guns. So anyway, we're going to do a 10 shot group today because we want to lengthen the video a little bit. And plus get a little better idea what the gun's capable of. We're going to be shooting at 25 yards. We're going to be shooting Norma Golden Trophy Field Target pellets. These are the heavy pellets. These are 9.1 grains. They also offer the same pellet. I think it's an 8.4 grain. However, this gun seems to prefer these, so we're going to give it a shot. 10 shots, 25 yards. We're going to shoot at that center dot in your frame. And without any more ado, we'll get started. So a tap loader, again, you just lift the little tap lever. What that does is it exposes a hole in the top of the receiver where you drop your pellet in head first, and then you rotate that tap back where it came from. So what that does is there's a hole that comes in vertically when you move the tap. You drop your pellet in, and then that hole moves horizontally and lines up perfectly with the bore. Now there's a theory, which I tend to agree with, because the pellet has to make that jump from the tap to the rifling, you do lose a little accuracy just due to that fact. And that seems to hold true with most of these tap loading guns. But let's see what we can do. Let's see, we're going to shoot at that dot in the center of your frame. This is 25 yards with the BSA Airsporter Stutzen Mk1. Alright, and that dot in the center of your frame, I think is that one right there. Alright, this will be shot number 1. Not too bad. It's actually got a very nice trigger. It's a 2-stage trigger, and you pull it all the way back, it'll stop, and if you add a little more pressure, it'll click one more tiny little fraction of an inch. And then from there, if you just start applying any more pressure, it'll break nice and clean, and I'm going to guess that it's about 1.5, 1 3/4 pounds. So very nice trigger. Checkered grip on the stock. And this is just in the back in the days when BSA made such a pretty rifle. Quality through and through. Alright, shot number 2. And we got a little breeze. I may let that calm down. Yeah, let's let that calm down. The optics on this scope are pretty darn good. It's got hash marks that you can use for reference points. Yeah, so far I'm impressed. It's not a bad scope for under $50. I think it was like $43.99 or some crazy thing like that. So I bought enough of them to get free shipping. It made it worthwhile, but who knows how long they'll hold up. It was worth a run. If they don't hold up on these guns, I can always put them on even lesser powered guns. This gun, I believe, is shooting at under 10 foot-pounds. I can't remember. I do have a printout somewhere. If I think of it, I'll throw it up on the video so you can see what kind of energy it makes, but it's not much. So at any rate, that wind's kind of let up a little bit. It's up high in the trees, but it seems a little calmer down here at ground level. So let's get shot number 2 downrange. A little bit off that time. This gun has no safety. It's what they call a mid-lever. You can see where the lever is hinged. And that does take and makes for a more difficult shot. Cocking stroke. It requires a lot more effort just because you have a disadvantage with the leverage there, but it keeps it so it can be concealed within the stock, and it just makes for such a graceful rifle. And there's that cocking lever back in here. I just like everything about this gun. It was just so tastefully designed. All right, shot number 3. Shot number 3. I'm not shooting my best today, guys, and we do have that wind to contend with, so I'm sure the gun could do better. In fact, it was doing better than it is so far earlier. But I have this theory. I think as you shoot a Springer, as it warms up, it becomes more and more consistent. And of course, there was a delay between me shooting it and then getting the cameras all set up and so forth. So I'm sure I had time to settle back down to room temperature. Shot number 4. Looks like maybe it's just a matter of a scope adjustment. So I would say so far, without the exception of that first shot, it's holding pretty tight. This will be shot number 5. Got a little breeze, we'll wait for that to go away. Anyway, if you ever find yourself in a position to pick one of these up, just a wonderful, wonderful gun. If you can put one in your collection, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. This gun was designed to take a sling. In fact, it's very attractive when you put the sling on it. In fact, Mark supplied the sling with it when I bought it from him. It's just, I can't tell you how pleased I am to have these guns in my collection. Just really, and I don't pay enough attention to them. I haven't done a video where we shot this gun since I bought it. So this is shot number 5. Did you notice I laid my pellets out today? I was actually thinking ahead. Alright, let's try it. Shot number 5. Not doing too bad. I mean, it could be a tighter group, but we got wind, and we got a shooter who's not 100% on his game, and we've got a tap loader. So, I mean, as far as a hunting gun at 25 yards, I mean, this would do it, wouldn't it? As far as blasting tin cans, it would do it all day long, probably out to 50 yards. Not too bad. We're keeping about maybe a 1-inch group, maybe slightly bigger, if you don't count that one first shot. Alright, this is shot number 7. Okay. Just such a nice rifle, really, really nice. I know I keep saying that, but little crosswind left to right. I'm going to shoot anyway. And that shot ended up a little left to right. Interesting. Alright, this is shot number 8. So this looks like it's going to be a relatively short video. When we're done, we'll ring the bell a couple of times just for fun with this gorgeous rifle. Shot number 8. I'd say this is shooting pretty darn good. I mean, it's maybe not match quality, but it's certainly plinking quality, informal target quality. Maybe we'll do another video with it, plinking at 30 yards or so, or maybe even try stretching it out to 50 and see if we can actually hit those spinners out there. This is shot number 9. More wind, folks. Anyway, I'm curious to see how long this scope holds up. Again, this gun is a pretty mild shot cycle, so I'm expecting it to last quite a while. cheap Chinese scope, cheap Chinese one-piece mount, stuck on this high-end rifle. I tend to do that a lot. I skimp on my optics because they're so darn expensive. I'd rather spend the money on putting a new gun in the collection. And if I put a nice scope on every gun in my collection, I don't know, I'd be into this for a small fortune. Scopes are so expensive. So at any rate, I think we got a little calm here, so we can get that next to last shot off. Shot number 9. Shot number 9. They're staying pretty tight. I mean, consider that target dot down there is probably 3/8 of an inch in diameter. So we're doing right around an inch, a little over, with this tap loading rifle on a fairly breezy day. And that was shot number 10. Final shot. What a beautiful rifle. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to celebrate. We're going to ring the bell. I'm going to cut away here after I get the cameras moved around, and we'll zoom you up on the bell, and we'll take a shot or two at the bell. So stick around. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's time to ring the bell. Let's zoom you up on that bell. You'll notice it got a facelift. If you're a frequent visitor to the channel, it's usually a yellow bell. And decided to give it a new paint job, and all I had was fluorescent orange, so I went ahead and used that. And it still stands out pretty brightly down there at 60 yards. And what that consists of, that's a 14-inch masonry blade from a demolition saw, a gas-powered demolition saw. So it does have a nice ring to it, and we're going to show you that right now. Let's see. Again, this gun's not super powerful, but we're shooting a relatively heavy pellet at 60 yards. Let's see what we got. Shot number 1. Yeah, we can do better than that. I don't even know if you guys heard that. That was shot number 1. We did ring the bell, but it certainly wasn't exactly all that powerful. Again, these BSA from this era, they were such elegant rifles. No nonsense, just a durable, well-made, attractive gun. Shot 2. There we go. I figured as much. We got to hit down lower, close to the bottom, to get a nice ring out of it. So that was the first mistake. That sounded nice. What a beautiful gun. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was really fun making it with you guys and actually sitting down and spending a few hours with this gun this morning. Before even starting the video, I was out here for about an hour. Just loving it. Just a really nice rifle. And there it is, the BSA Airsporter Stutzen Mk1. One of these days I may pull a spring on this thing and just put a little grease on it, get rid of that buzz. But other than that, we're not going to do much with it. Again, that scope, I'll keep you posted on the scope. I think I'll mount the last one on another rifle, and we'll run that one too. Something maybe that I shoot a little more often, and we'll see how long it holds up. It'd be interesting. It'd be nice to be able to recommend a really inexpensive scope that actually has decent optics and a really nice reticle, fully adjustable objective down to, I think it's 10 yards. 15, let's see, 10, 5. You can adjust it all the way down to 5 yards. So, I mean, perfect for an air rifle. Whether or not it's perfect for a Springer remains to be seen, but I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. So anyway, I want to thank you folks for stopping by the Pellets and Pistons Airgun channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. Hit the bell to be reminded of future videos, and by all means, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this one. Thanks again, folks, and have a great day. Shooting this rifle in just a second. So I'm going to cut here and we'll come right back and we'll set that camera up on the target down below, and this one sucked too, so let's start all over again.